Hello everybody, today we are playing with this box. This box contains some nice little things. Bakugan. I will roll you out each of the Bakugan. I have a few more, but I'm not going to roll them out. They're the new Gen 3 stuff. I don't really like Gen 3. This video also voices my deep opposition to Gen 3's existence. The third generation of Bakugan. I'm gonna do this with my brother's Drago here. It's broken. We actually also had a normalized Drago that was broken at one point, but it was worse. It could not. This could still roll off. The wing's broken. Oh, definitely, but it can still roll properly. I will use a Bakugan for an example. Well, I'm about to turn this Chromebook right down. Come on, Drago, please stand for me. Oh, my peeps, it is really hard. Ah. Bloody hell. Sorry, my language. But in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a gate card. It's much easier to roll out onto those. I'll show you almost all of my back. I'll show you one special one as a final note. If there are anyone who had played some Bakugan during Battle Planet, you probably won't care much about this cameo, but I do because, frankly, it's one of my originals. I have the others rumbling around in storage somewhere that I can't access right now, so yeah, right. Drago's wing's broken here, so it's not the full completion. Imagine an actual picture. I'm not going to edit an actual picture in at the moment. Well, probably if I have this channel continue in the future, I'll probably edit this video and probably maybe repost the video version of this video that simply just contains this, but with actual images of in editing. I don't care much about the editing at the moment. This is just starting out. As a Bakugan from Evolutions, they kind of done away with the Ultras. Sad. They've done away with Ultra Bakugan being the ones that could just stand and kind of flip. They were built around the gimmick of the Bakukors. The next Bakugan I will take out, these things are also opening a little bit, so I have to kind of carefully, please, very carefully. To get these kind of closed properly, I have to. This is really getting painful. So in this case, I'm just rolling up a Bakugan. In this case, I'm going Gristwing because I like Gristwing. Just out. The thing stood its ground. Well, anyways, I'll just Gristwing, just beautiful boy. He's just a beautiful boy. What I'm gonna do is, for the toy battling game, I'm gonna recommend you a team based off of my collection, based off of my recommended team picks for a toy session of the toy battling game. The recommended team picks. This thing is not on it, sadly. I love Gristwing, but you're not on it. You think you take a bunch of cores to set up. Bunch of annoying cores, Baku cores to set up, and I don't know how the gate works, the gate card stuff. Those effects really are strange. Ugh. The final countdown. Sorry. Alright, I'm about to scan my next Bakugan, another Darkest Bakugan. Ugh, yes, Bakugan of Wrath. It seems to love to have this problem of it just doesn't stand. Simply doesn't sometimes. I mean, it opens, but it just this sort of is like, and I'm already doing it open, but showing what it's like, boom, and it just does that, as you saw. It's because Wrath can stand quite easily, but Wrath is just so much as these new metal old metal Bakugan. Much better than their old Gundalian Invaders counterparts, but they are heavy. They have a lot of forward momentum with them. Yeah, see, it just you may not see him pop open off screen there. It may pop open just off screen, but the point is, Wrath just has enough weight to do it. I'd say a bit of a design flaw with the Platinum Wrath here. The next one, the final darkest Bakugan of the collection. I'll actually save a few others for the end. Nilius, even though that roll's just not proper, and why is it not standing? Nilius, why aren't you standing? Too slow. I'm just gonna. Okay, Nilius seems to be stuck closed right now. Yeah, I've been dealing with Nilius at being stuck more or less. Much better. Oof, my favorite Bakugan of my modern collection. My favorite. My Genesis Nilius here. My absolute favorite. Just, in the show, actually, it's the Nilius Speed Mode. It absolutely looks weird in its monster form in the show. But in toy form, it's just, to me, this elegant thing. It just stands. Hopefully this thing won't stick closed this time. We can actually see it's just, well, I love why it's so elegant. Oof. They could have been much worse. I realized it stood off screen. Point being is, Nilius is just great. Point being is, Nilius is just beautiful. Let's move on to the next Bakugan. Yes, I'm moving on to another Drago. All my powers Bakugan are Drago. Other than a Trino I do own, but it's in storage. I also actually, I have now broken Chaos Vice Rocks and a broken Aros Pythion. I used to have an Ventus Scorpion, but I gave it to my friend AJ. He now owns that one, which is fine and alright and dandy, but he's alright. I may or may... Yeah, you just saw it. It's kind of... Here's what Drago looks like fully. And he just... Luckily, this thing only has one manual piece. It's just that horn there. And then you probably just ignore it. Well, I mean, there's a bit more of a back position you may want to do to get it. This is the neat Evo. This is the sort of this is the Platinum Neo Dragonoid here, and I also have the original Neo version, which I bought. I bought it the day after Christmas because my brother's previous Drago I think had broken. Where I think, yeah, I got this along with with Griswing as well. So I know I got Wrath, and I also got a Pegatrix on my birthday. And my last, well, actually not my last, I got a replacement for my Serpentes, which was thrown up on a particular ledge that I never got in a shelter and I never got back. Now here's Drago standing. Luckily, that Serpentine also comes with a new card, because my previous Serpentine card is somewhere else. Or in storage. But here, I got Drago, and it's just... not my favorite design. Not a lot of others. Not a lot of others' favorite design. Alrighty, next one.
Not too late, buddy.
Thank you. Alrighty. Moving on to an older classic here. Be surprised, I'm leaving the Genesis, the two main Genesis back on. The last is the main. Some people probably have or have not seen it. Well, in this case, I think this thing is old. It has a few springs missing. Ah. Oh, much better. Fangzor, my old Fangzor here, has a bunch of missing parts. It still maintains the spring here and down here on back here, but there was a spring up here, now it's missing. So it means this thing will just flop. It doesn't spring. So frankly, when it stands, it could just stand like this. This is the only thing that would probably kick it up from just... This is probably what just kicks it up. Yeah, just that. That's what continues it going. The spring just keeps it somewhat probably still. I just pull it close to like that because I felt like it. So next one, part of the Genesis collection, Trogs. Perfect stand. Trox has a bakugan here. It's really cool. Just a really cool team. And this is a really cool bakugan. Bakugan, more of a secondary team idea more than primary. Like maybe your secondary if you don't want to use your primary team. Sort of that part could be part of a secondary team if you want to do it. Quite dandy for. That's why you sometimes call him a Geogon. Well, frankly, I've been rolling like that upside down. Next one, another Battle Planet surprise. This one is not old. I did have a Serpentine at one point, but my original one, sadly, it got thrown up on a ledge. It is no longer around because where I used to live, which I did not think, is now a hole in the ground. Oh, a moth got him. Alright, interesting. It just probably will get batted out of the sky if it's not careful. Anyways. So we're simply just rolling these back. I'm simply rolling them out and telling you stories. Here's my serpent. This is my new modern Serpentine. My older one, the speed power thing, was already wearing the bleep out. This thing I got about after my birthday. I got this at the dollar store. In a slightly weirder, more I think even suspicious, but it's all right. It's good. I got a Serpentine for that. I got a Serpentine. That's all I care about. Frankly, there was also an Orless Drago and whatnot, which I should have gotten because, well, frankly, if I had gotten them, I could have had the collection expanded. Could have had 3 Orless Bakugan to balance out and another Haos Bakugan or something. That would have been all around just above $15. Sadly, now it's not my dollar stores have any Bakugan stuff available, and if it was, it would be Gen 3 because I went to the GameStop on my birthday this year and it only had the Gen 3 stuff, which I got, but it currently sits doing nothing. Here's my Warrior Well. My Genesis Warrior Well. I don't have a normal Warrior Well. Sadly, I mean, unless I went to go somehow Valley Village or some other store, I found some old Gen 2 stuff, which would be to me just awesome to find Gen 2 stuff present and waiting. That'd be quite nice to get, like some Gen 2 stuff. Jeez, some old maybe Battle Planet, Gigan Rising, or Armored Alliance stuff. Oh, I said that out of order. Battle Planet, Armored Alliance, Gigan Rising stuff would be quite great. Legends and Evolution Legends. Well, yeah, that would be also great. Especially Legends. But I think I would love to have some Legends toys. Some of them are interesting, especially the new Nova stuff. That is, well, not new now, they're old. I got one more Genesis Bakugan. frankly, I only got 2 Ordos Bakugan, and they are the same old. In this case, it's my Genesis Feral. Well, it stands normally quite proper. In this case, my Feral here just kind of goes. I just have it. It's an interesting Bakugan, quite powerful. Quite powerful as Warless Bakugan should be. Hanosh. Hanosh, it's 200 if I remember correctly. Has a bad guy that's pretty low. Anyways, this thing was gotten on Christmas. It is an elegant little thing. It is elegant. I'm alright with the modern Orless paint scheme. I do like the old one. I had an Orless Vice Leopard. No, not Vice Leopard. Sorry, that's the wrong one entirely. Sorry, my mistake. I had an Orless. Why did I say Vice Leopard? That's Orless. A Vice Leopard is a bay. I wish I did have that too. That would have been nice. But an Orless Lepitheon. Sorry, I tend to confuse names. I tend to call Genesis Warrior Whale. I tend to call it Genesis Warrior Whale. I forgot what I called it. I think I called it Whale Lord. I think I called it just Whale Lord on accident. Whale Lord multiple times. No one near that fat whale that's an evolution of a Whalmer. That fat evolution of a Gen 3 Pokemon, if I'm correct. It's definitely not Gen 1 or 2. It's probably Gen 3 or 4 one. I forgot. To be honest, I only got interested, frankly. Now we're getting off topic into Pokemon, but I only got interested in Pokemon back at around the time would have probably been late XY, but actually I wasn't even interested in Pokemon itself till like Sun and Moon. And my Pokemon interests are very much on and off. Especially with the new anime. I do like the new protagonist. I think they're trying to take a bit of a twin protagonist thing they did before with Journeys, but the gal of the season seems to be the lead, where the guy is just really not. Well, yeah. Here, anyways, for my Feral here, it really does not like to stand at all. I mean, but when I went to auction it, yeah, it is really loose. It can be remarkably easy. It makes sense. It wasn't standing at all. So in this case, I may just drop some of these just plain on. Just plop these plain on here because it'd be much better just to get them on. Well, anyways, I do like Feral's design, this version of Feral, but I do agree that this. But I do agree. I have this Feral's card here. Unless it, on the condition of it lands on an orange shield, I think it's gain a core from the field. You gain a core from the field, which gives you extra B power or damage or whatnot. But you'd gain 400 from it. In this case, Feral only has 100. Only has 100 B. Platinum Neo Feral only has 100 B power. So that would mean 100 to 400 potentially. I would guess maybe 300. At best, maybe 800, compared to where my best 800 at worst certain other ranges. If you would have it to stand on its proper core, could get it some gnarly other ranges here. In this case, next one is now just before the Genesis collection. It will be I will do the Geogon and Pegatrex. I do have a Geogon. I also have 2 Nanogon, but I'm not going to show them. I'm going to drop the Geogon. In this case, this is a Ghost Beast, so I can. Actually, I will just drop it close to the ground. Here's what Ghost Beast looks like. As a Geogon is interesting, but here's what it looks like fully folded out. But this thing is one of the pieces of envelope. Funny thing, like the Legacy, like the Legacy Maxis Helios, unlike Maxis, the original Maxis Dragonoid or current or the old Geoforge Dragonoid, that Geoforge Dragonoid in the original Dragonoid Maxis from Dragonoid Maximus there from Novastroya, frankly, you had to get that set to get the Bakugan and the Trap Bakugan. In this case, Helios was made up just a bunch of regular spherical Bakugan. It was just made up a bunch of regular spherical Bakugan, including the Helios, which you could get in different setbacks. So you could have a multi-faction, multicolored thing to get to make your weird multi-faction, multicolored Velok. In this case, here's how you prep Velok's one of Velok's 4 legs here. It's simple. You just flip out the peg and flip out the foot here. And I don't have the other pieces, so simply this thing is going to remain pretty useless. It would have to have another piece to connect it to. So in this case, pretty much done. Alrighty. Is my Pegatrex, which has the same problem as Wrath. It tends to love to stand not on its feet. Tends to do this sometimes. Frankly, in this case, I'm going to drop this very carefully. And sometimes even if you drop it, it'll just go blop right under its feet here. In this case, it sort of just stands like this. So I do like how Pegatrex looks. It's alright. I don't really care much about this Pegatrex. I just do like how Bakugan can be from little balls that are, say, quite large compared to your existing marbles, to standing like tall. In this case, next one being the 2 Genesis Collection boys. One of them has opened on complete accident. In this case, you're about to see which one will I debate. I hope you did not see that. There is a light up feature. I'll start with Wrath. Okay, yeah, sometimes when you're not paying attention, you can just... Ugh. I'll just... Yeah, here. Random Ventus. Frankly, you can fold out Wrath here. Wrath has a lot of fold out features. Actually, weirdly, it took me a while to find the wings, find the mane, or find the feet. Frankly, it took me quite a while. This, frankly, I say kind of a flaw of the design of Wrath here. You flip these feet out, and this Bakugan can't even stand with a core anymore. So in this case, next one I'm going to roll out is Drago. Yes, Drago. Right on Pyrus. Would have been funny if the Wrath had landed on Halo, so then Drago obviously still landing on Pyrus. It would have been quite nice. Here's what Drago... Pretty much I have flicked around everywhere on this Bakugan. Yeah, this is how Drago looks fully folded out at this point. So, this is how Drago looks. It is elegant looking. And frankly, you can tell I have been... You can't tell, but I have definitely been replacing this guy's batteries multiple times. Here's what Drago looks like. Fully folded out, and on his. In this case, you've seen the collection now. Now, for a team recommendation to build. This is my. I will build you the team out of my collection. If you ever somehow to play with me with my collection here specifically, I could support up to 3 technically. Since you have to have 3 players, I don't have Fangsor's card. It's in storage somewhere. But if I had Fangsor's card, I can only support certain Bakugan because I don't have their cores. I mean, their cores are just a suggestion, so you don't have to bring their exact core. It just means that they have that core, because I don't have a magic shield. then they're SOL. Then they're just then those Bakugan are just SOL. But a solo, just non-Geoganda Bakugan team out of my collection. This means you can use this, my peeps, if you ever somehow come across me. Which would be quite nice to meet fans, but I'll hold that off for quite a while. But I'll put stuff back because now I'm gonna build you my main team, and I'll build you sort of a secondary option if you don't have the big boys in charge. I'm gonna kind of lay them out all in little faction order. I'm gonna put the Genesis out front. Just what. So I'm gonna just this is out of my collection, out of my current existing collection with me. I could probably add a bit more. Finding Drago and Wrath are supposed to connect on a sort of a big card mirror like thing. I just did not care at the moment. I just want to get Iris. They're no in particular order than their faction. So once they're in their particular faction, they're not Paris, Darkus. I'm based off how I tend to usually say the faction, the order of the factions: Pyrus, Darkus, Chaos. Pyrus, Darkus, Chaos, Aquos. Ventus, Chaos, Aquos, Ventus, and, well, Orlus. I also have in this case, I have my Fangzor, but I don't have its card, but Fangzor is not even on me for a second. If I were someone gonna print out the card, it's probably better enough. In this case, ears each Bakugan. If you notice my collection loves to use orange shield. There's got a lot of orange shield, lovey Bakugan. So in this case, I'd build my deck around. I'd build a hand around and a deck around. If you want to go with TCG, which I'm not going to because I don't have cards for that, I would do stuff related to orange shield. I would take Drago for main, Wrath for more of a Wrath is a questionable secondary. Like, Drago can get any faction, so in this case, based off of Bakukors or gate cards alone, Bakukors and gate cards, how I would definitely build out a team based off Drago here. This is an old faction, and you only have the 3 Bakugan. I take Feral, and I take Nilius. Like, there are others like Warrior Whale who are actually 800, like along with Platinum Neo Drago, but Nilius has a 700 bonus on Orange Shield. Feral just has 800, period. I mean, you could then say for others like, not Feral, but you could say for like Wrath a little bit. But I think I'll just wear Griswing. But I'm just simply gonna, this would be my team. Genesis, Dragonoid, Genesis, Nilius, and Genesis. Feral, my sort of main team. My secondary team would be more of a, I would take definitely the other Genesis Bakugan, Wrath. I would definitely take more of a, if you want to get a green fist focused thing, I have never gotten anything usable with a Drago. I could put Wrath, like 2 Dragos behind it, just where, because my Platinum Neo Drago can get backed with green. This is like a good green. I've built a green fist team and an orange fist team. Pretty great for what they'll need to use in this case. Helix Green Fist Platinum Dragonoid, Green Fist for just double Green Fist for Platinum Neo Dragonoid, and Genesis Wrath is just an orange shield guy, but same as the other Genesis same as the other one. Drago is actually a double Green Fist kind of thing, compared to where Nilius is double Orange Shield and Feral is double Fire Fist, which I think I don't have, or I think I do have 2 Fire Fists. In terms of cores, I'm counting my cores here because, frankly, I do have a Helix. I think, a Helix or 2. Orange Shield. Helix 1. should have actually got. I think I do have 2 Fire Fists, but banked due to my core, I think I would have to remove one of my bakugan. In this case, sadly, it's my double Fire Fist Feral, but it doesn't matter. Cores are just suggestions. They tell you to bring them, but I could say it's literally just a suggestion. The thing doesn't benefit from Fire Fist at all. There isn't like a Fire Fist benefit, which would kind of lock off a lot of use for Feral. But if you had to use a Fire Fist exclusive, I have plenty of bakugan that are Fire Fist Trox, and Genesis Trox and Genesis Warrior Whale have a problem is they both require Magic Shield, which weirdly my set did not come with a Magic Shield. So you may have to get more bakugan to get the cores required. In this case, I'll put my main secondary team back because it doesn't really matter of what they are, really. Sort of what my main team is. I could also replace it with Warrior Whale, but it requires a... It's like Evo Drago, Platinum Neo Drago can probably could easily work on this team with a double Green Fist Dragonoid anyways. And I have a lot of Orange Shields and Green Fists, so it's not too big of a problem. In this case, Drago and Feral are my Genesis Feral compared to my Platinum Neo Drago. My Feral could probably gain, let's say I stand on a Baku core that gives it about 300. Let's say it's somehow a 300 Green Fist. Feral's just going to gain 300, but Drago lands on it and gains an extra 500 on top, so another 800, so 1,600. Drago gains more power, so technically Feral can be used interchangeably, but I mean I have a lot of Bakugan that I could use interchangeably throughout with many teams. Realistically, I mean it is in the rules that to use the cores required, but realistically in a local battle situation you could probably, it's just a suggestion. They tell you you have to. I think they do tell you have to bring them, but for the Bakugan, for the Bakugan you're going to use. But it's really just a suggestion. If you truly look at it, it's just a suggestion. It is true. It's more just a suggestion. Like we suggest you use your good old particular core. I mean, it makes sense for Bakugan that may or may not use that particular core frequently. But as a Bakugan brawler, I just say goodbye and good night.